Make your first API call and get random cat images. We'll be using the cat API, which is an API that provides cats as a service. Go to their website, documentation, and read the quick start, and literally on the first sentence it says, click on this to get a random cat image. Let's click on it. It's basically the endpoint that we'll be using, and this is the response. You get this URL and it has a cat image. Let's refresh. Let's open the URL again, and it's a different cat image. So whenever we call this, we get a random cat image. We will be using litterbox.thecatapi.com as a text editor here, and it will provide the rendered HTML here to make this quick and fast, but you can use any text editor that you're comfortable with or your favorite text editor. And for the sake of this video, to make it quick and easy and simple to follow, we're basically trying to focus on making an API call in a simple step. So we will do we'll keep things basic and simple. And let's start with the HTML. We'll use something like a paragraph and then a button and then an image, which will basically, the paragraph goes something like get a random cat image, I guess, and then we'll add a button that we will click to get the image. Let's just make it, give it the value of get, and when we click it, we'll use handle click function. And the click function will be called, and let's add the image and give it the ID of cat image, which will be the image that we will show. For now the source is empty, so when we click the get button here, the handle click function will make the API call, which will return this response, and then we will use this URL as the source for this image. Let's go to the HTML, and we have to implement the handle function and get the image element. Let's start with getting the image element. Cat image equals document and get element by ID, and let's implement the function, which will be an async function. And assuming by watching this you already know basic HTML, JS, CSS. If you don't, then just go learn about async functions or promises. Handle click, and when we click the button, this function will be called. And then let's create another function to keep things simple, and get random cat, which will make an API call and will return a cat response, I guess. Const, let's just say response equals, we'll use fetch, and we will copy this URL, goes here, and we will return, or let's say const data equals await response.json, because the response is a list, so we have to return data and the list of the first element in the list. With the list basically has one element, and we return the first element. And then handle click, we will go whenever the button is clicked, we will go const image, and then we will use this function that we just created to get the image. And since it's an async function, you can use the await for it, or use the then for the promises. We won't handle any errors here, just keeping this simple and pretty straightforward. And then we will use the URL of this image as the source URL for the cat, for the image element. Cat image dot as source src's image dot URL, which is this one here. And let's go and test it. Click. There we go, got our image. And I don't like this button being here. Let's go and give the image a display block to make it go down. Or it's the button, yeah, it's the button. Let's just wrap it in a div. Oh, sorry. button get click. Yeah, there we go. Simple and pretty straightforward, and then we can use some CSS to style this, but that's not the goal of this video. We're making API calls and we are getting random images. That's it.